Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. We're talking about the Honky Tonk Man. People saying that Honky Tonk Man is going to be going into the WWE Hall of Fame at Wrestlemania 35. I really thought that after he inducted Coco Beware, which I think was actually at WrestleMania 26, that was a long time ago, that was Honky Tonk Man, basically greasing the doors to get back into WWE after sort of being on the ins, on the outs, with the company. The Honky Tonk Man, honestly, in my opinion, when it comes to performing shoot interviews or, appearing on podcasts, just about anything this guy ever says through RF video or anything like that, to me, honestly, is gold. Whether if you like the guy, whether if you don't like the guy, I think basically anything that he has to say about the wrestling business is gold. He is not afraid to go after big names in the business, whether if it's Hulk Hogan, whether if it's Bret Hart. He will go after anybody and say anything, whether if it's true or not. The one thing about what Honky Tonk Man says is people never really call the guy a liar. He tells a lot of stories, a lot of people laugh at him, but you don't ever really hear people come out and say that what he's talking about isn't true. But, to get down to it, Honky Tonk Man was one of the best wrestlers of the 80s. He might have been a character wrestler. He came into the WWE. At the time, Vince thought that he was going to be an Elvis impersonator, that was going to be a huge baby face. Fans hated him, so they immediately just switched it up. They turned him heel. He was the guy that got the Intercontinental Championship, and he held the title for well over a year before dropping it at SummerSlam to the Ultimate Warrior. But during the Honky Tonk Man's reign, the Intercontinental Championship honestly really meant something, to the point where it was main eventing house shows on the B-Loop. It was always a well-supported championship that was adding to WWE pay-per-views. It's not like what the Intercontinental title is today. And then once his run ended as the Intercontinental Champion, he ended up teaming up with Greg the Hammer Valentine, creating a tag team of Rhythm and Blues, which did prolong his career a little bit. They never were in the title picture, but they were always, to me, a pretty featured group that got me snapping. I honestly, at the time, thought that they really had an album that I could go and buy. And I loved the act with them and Jimmy Hart as a team. Honky Tonk Man, when it comes down to it, I don't really remember his run in WCW at all. Eric Bischoff always says that it was the one guy in the wrestling business that he took pleasure in firing because he just didn't like the guy. But even though I don't really remember a lot of his matches, I don't remember a lot of his feuds. He's from my childhood. He's one of the guys that jumps off of the page. You want to see those figures, you want to see those pictures, and when his matches come up on pay-per-views that you're watching on the WWE Network or on DVD or anything, it's not one that you go out of your way like, next, I don't want to see this shit. So I think that he deserves to go into the Hall of Fame. I've been waiting for this for a while. He's sort of been outspoken about the fact that, one of the conditions he didn't want to go into the Hall of Fame for years is that basically WWE makes you sign a deal where you're not going to do any independent shows or bookings for like 90 days after the Hall of Fame. Like, you basically have to sort of sign a short-term contract with WWE to be featured to go into the Hall of Fame. I don't really think that that's a thing anymore, seeing how, especially like Ric Flair went into the Hall of Fame when he was contracted with TNA. So it doesn't really make sense anymore. Plus, Honky Tonk Man, I think, he went on like a retirement tour of shows. I'm sure he still does autograph shows and conventions and things like that, but I don't think he's wrestling anymore, so I don't think that's really going to hurt him. But Honky Tonk Man for the Hall of Fame, I strongly support it.